Good evening. This is Liz Whitaker, Divination Station Tarot, and I am on Three of Cups, Divine Arts. Thank you for joining me. Just going to go ahead and take the couple minutes obligatory, share this out. How is everyone doing today? Today is Monday, March 9th. I should know that. It is a new moon in Virgo, full moon in Virgo. So full moons are, kind of that time to reflect. I just did some reflection on some of my offerings this past week. Really making sure that what I'm doing is what I want to be doing. Where I'm doing it is where I want to be doing it. And for the most part, I'm good. For the most part, everything is going really well and getting out to where I want to be. I'm just sharing this out. Where else? Yes, I'm sharing it to my page. And all right, I'm going to wait for a couple people to pop on. Looks like there's some people coming on now. So we will go ahead and get this started. So I am going to be looking at Temperance today. And Temperance is all about balance. Take a look. We'll look at that a little bit more. All right. Polly, hello. Maria Pia, awesome. Hello to your niece. And Polly, if you just wait just a couple seconds, I'm going to get into the intro and let everybody know how they can go ahead and get a reading. Again, I'm just kind of trying to share this out. Yep, shared. Perfect. Polly, hello. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and start keeping a list here. I'm going to try to go in order. I do the readings at the end of the show. And hi, Kiara. Because what I do is do a lesson, and then I will go ahead and I'm trying to get it shared to my page, and I'm having my personal Facebook page, so I'm kind of having a bit of an issue with that, so bear with me. So today we will be talking about Temperance. So Temperance in the Rider-Waite looks like that. So Temperance is the card of divine balance. And there we go. Okay. Welcome to Divination Station, brought to you by True Paranormal, the podcast. I am Liz Whitaker of Divination Station, your host for this broadcast. Today we will be discussing Temperance. When you join the live, and I will be following up with live sample readings. When you jump on the podcast, please say where you're from, your pronouns, so I want to make sure I get those right. Your journey with the tarot, if you have started that. And when you join the live broadcast, please take a moment to drop your name. If you're watching the replay, please comment #replay to make sure that I can kind of narrow in on those comments as well. I would love to know where you're at in your tarot journey, what deck you're working with. If you have any questions or anything Any readings, anything that really stuck with you this week. Don't forget to love or wow or like react this video and tag your friends. If you know anyone that would be interested in my content, tag them in the comments. That also helps us to grow organically. I hope you enjoy the show, and I look forward to getting to know everyone better. So again, I'm Liz Whitaker, Buffalo, New York. I don't think I say that very often. Buffalo, New York. I use she, her pronouns, and I am excited to get into Temperance today. So Temperance is kind of one of those cards that seems simple at first. You're like, okay, it's balance, got it. It's moderation, got it. But what does that really mean? So we are now at 14. Temperance is 14 in the major arcana. So we just passed the death card. So we just passed that really hectic transformation, right? Any transformation we go to is it's a change. It's where we're from to where we're at now. After the death card, we need time to adjust. We need time to kind of check in with where we're at, how we're feeling. Transformation can be dramatic and traumatic. And often that death card, really leaves us in that state. Temperance asks us to not react too strongly one way or the other, as in don't run back where you just came from, and don't bound forward before you know where you're going. Temperance is perfect balance and harmony. Again, sounds easy, right? No, it's one of the more difficult cards to work with in a reading. That's because sometimes where it comes up, if it's a nice, good, easy reading and Temperance pops up, don't we want more good feelings? Don't we want more of that? It's because sometimes it pops up where we don't expect it to. If a concept is easy to talk about, yet difficult in real life scenarios. So again, if we're talking about if a card is positive, we want more of that. If it's leaning towards a difficult reading, we want less. But that's not exactly how life goes, right? You take the good, you take the bad. You take them both, and there you have the facts of life. Sorry, or Temperance. The card itself, we look at the card. It has a figure, angelic figure. The gender is not really straightforward. We see that sun in the background. Remember, we kind of saw it in the death card. We saw the sun in the background with the mountains and the towers, and we see it here. So we really get the idea that we're on the other side. We're on the other side of that transformation. We're regrouping and we're moving forward. The angel has the triangle symbol on the gown. That is fire, the fire element, which it is a fire elemental card, which there's a lot of water in there, so we'll address that. It's alchemical for fire, so we have that alchemy, that idea of changing from one form to another, which we just did in death, right? So we have that transformation there. We also have kind of the symbol of the sun on the forehead. So we have another idea of that brightness and that sun. Down here, we have the water. The 1 foot is in the water. The card is the idea of also being one with earth and spirit. So again, that balance, that moderation. It's esoteric. It's alchemical. It's deeper than what it looks like at first glance. It's a lot deeper than what we just kind of look at. The angel has 1 foot in the water, part intuition and emotions, and one firmly on land, grounding, earthly elements. The angel is part of both of them. And also that idea of the water transfer, there's nothing telling us that the water's going up as well, but that's kind of the impression that I've always gotten from Temperance, is it's not just like pouring from here out. You really get that idea that it's almost like, there we go, that it's almost like going almost in a circle, like in a loop. So we really get that idea of the water and the emotions in the card, and the fact that it is part land, part water. So when Temperance comes up in a reading, it can mean very straightforward things like temperance and moderation, as in the temperance movement. So, not drinking a lot of alcohol, not drinking a lot of caffeine, not taking anything in excess. It can actually be the card of sobriety. So if someone is in recovery for anything and temperance pops up, it can also mean that. So, we have a few different levels of meanings with temperance. Temperance in the zodiac represents Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Ruling planet is Jupiter. Jupiter's all about expansion. So why is a card about expansion? Why is a card about moderation represented by expansion? Because we have to know where we are in order to grow. And we have to do that initially by kind of checking in with our energy and not going overboard. The expansion that Jupiter brings is the expansion of the universe, not of our personal selves. We can't make it. It's sort of like in conjunction with the universe. Polly says, I'm a Scorpio. So we got that water sign. And we just covered death in last week's broadcast. If you want to catch that replay, death is the card of Scorpio. So Scorpio rules 8th house, which is death, love, or death, sex, and other people's money. And hi, Marilyn. So some of the keywords are balance, moderation, patience, harmony, and calm. So if you're out there and you know anyone that is Sagittarius, you might question also, how does this card represent them? How does Temperance represent Sagittarius? Sagittarius are not very generally moderate people. They like to really jump into things. They're fiery. They want to travel. They want to expand. They're very philosophical. So that's a part where kind of Temperance comes in with that alchemy. They want to expand their understanding of the universe. They can be very quick with words and not very temperate or moderate with that part. But my opinion about this is Temperance is how a Sagittarius wants to be. That's how they want to be seen, of that balance, fair mind. That's like their ultimate level up. They want to be that balanced person. It takes work, and it takes working to be in alignment for them to get there. So again, in a reading, look at what's around Temperance. If it is around those really, good, positive cards, and Temperance pops up, it might kind of be a sign to kind of keep things in check a little bit, maybe like a reality check. If there are negative cards and Temperance comes up, it's all about balancing the light and the dark. Just because some things are negative or not going well right now, doesn't mean that they're not going to turn around. And also, so what's coming in for this right now is really kind of keeping a calm and moderate mind about things, not overreacting. not reacting in a way that um, might feel a little bit, not reacting in a way that feels too fiery, kind of keeping it chill. All right. So again, if you are joining, go ahead and hashtag shared, and I will get you a card at the end of the broadcast. Again, today is a moon day and it is a full moon. So as we're kind of going on here, I want to talk a little bit about that full moon. Full moon is in Virgo. And Virgo is all about kind of control and keeping things nice and neat and organized. And full moons are a really great time to reflect. Reflect on the past month since that last full moon. What's worked, what hasn't, what do you need to maybe get rid of, what do you need to kind of do more of. And you can do any sort of like full moon ritual. You can cleanse crystals, charge them. You can make moon water. I might do that tonight. That's always fun. And yeah, Mercury is just out of retrograde, so we're still going to be in the shadow period for a couple days. And that's just as what that means is once it meets the point, the degree that it went retrograde, and then it'll pull forward. What do you feel lost about? Okay, so Polly said she's feeling lost. Is the tarot lesson? That's how my broadcasts are. I will do a tarot lesson, and then I will go forward to the readings. So Temperance, again, kind of pops up in that moment after transformation. I will go ahead and go over some of the cards that we generally address. So first off, we are going to talk about the Tarot de Marseille, Temperance. So this one, the figures looks a little bit more, has a little bit more of a, sorry, a little bit more of a smile. And the feet, it's a little less clear about the water and the earth, but we still have that idea of that water transfer. It's almost doing, this one's almost doing like water. It's not quite the way water would flow. It's not up and down. It's almost sideways. And again, with the Tarot de Marseille, we have the colors. So the colors always represent, red is like that passion and blue is that calm. So it's that kind of half and half. So again, that is the Tarot de Marseille for Temperance. Okay. Polly, that does sound like a very difficult spot if things are not going the way that you would like them to. And we'll see at the end what card pops up for you, okay? All right, and Marilyn, hello. Okay, so this is, of course, the Thoth deck. And this one's called Art. So we have the figure that has almost looks like two sides, two faces. And we have a griffin and a lion looking creature. So we have the eagle, we have the lion, and it looks like she's holding it looks like she's actually holding a lightning bolt, and then water's pouring as well. So there's that alchemy. There is that alchemical idea. And then there's the words that around, I can't really see what they say. I'll have to actually look at that. There's something, a column, so something hidden. Anyway, I'll have to look at that. So this is a totally different feel from the other Temperance cards. So that's a bit of a departure for the Thoth deck. Usually they follow pretty well, but this one is, thank you, but this one is a little bit more of a departure. We have those two sides really indicating balance. So think back on the Chariot when we had the black and the white, the two very clear sides. This almost feels like that. And again, it's called art. It's not called temperance. And then at the bottom, we have that Hebrew symbol and we have the symbol for Sagittarius. So that is would actually be an interesting card for me to really do some research on. Because again, there's a lot there. There's some sacred geometry going on in the back. So that's definitely a departure from even the Thoth deck. And of course, Tarot of the Cat People. So we have that, the same. This one is definitely more of a feminine figure. We have a less idea of the angel. There's no wings present, but we do have that crown on top that almost looks like a moonstone or something reminiscent of the high priestess. And we do have that water pouring, a little bit more of a realistic pour than some of them we've seen, and really looking into that background. So this card is I get a really serene, really restful feel. Like this card is somewhere where you can like hang out for a while. I mean, of course, there's that cat there too. So why not? So that's Tarot of the Cat People. And before we move on, we're about the halfway mark. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in with the sponsor break. Divination Station Tarot is sponsored by True Paranormal, the podcast. Leo Rizzuti takes you on a journey into the supernatural and the mysterious, the strange and the things that simply cannot be explained. Join in by following True Paranormal, the podcast on Facebook, where you'll be treated to spooky stories, tips for doing your own investigation, and interviews with paranormal investigators. Each week, catch up with Leo on True Paranormal, the podcast. All right. So we'll go ahead and get into the rest of the cards. Okay. So I do want to look at, this is a new deck that I just got. I might actually do a video for a review or an unboxing of it. So this is Temperance in the Arcana Flux deck. Flux Arcana by Micah Ulrich. So this is the Temperance card. So really we just have a very stylized idea. We have that angel, we have the water pouring, we have the triangle, and almost no background except the idea of those sun rays and the foot in the water and the foot on the stone. So I really like that. It really kind of gets that idea across. This one is a little bit more, it feels balanced to me, but it feels more of a balance of light and dark. So that is the Flux Arcana deck. All right, and Caitlin popped in. Hello, Caitlin. All right. Next up is the Wild Unknown deck. So this is Temperance in the Wild Unknown. So here we have a stork, which traditionally and also in the Norman means like transformation again. And here we have the water drops kind of going right into the flame. And we have that sunburst feel from all of the colors surrounding, and really that balance, that fire and water, that emotion and that drive. So this one really feels a little bit more elemental, really fiery, really active, and then really really receptive and really emotional. And that is, again, Wild Unknown. This one is the first time that I'm kind of featuring this deck. And this one is I believe it's the Angel Tarot deck. I don't even know where it is. So it is Angels and Tarot. So this one is just called Balance, and we have the Archangel Zadkiel. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. So here, definitely we have the angel wings. We have that idea of the sunburst in the back, the water pouring, the feet, one in the water, one on the earth. And we also have that triangle there. So this one almost feels like a really comforting, like encompassing energy. Like this really feels like somewhere you can, again, somewhere where you can hang out. And it has really pretty blue, so irises. So this has the irises kind of around the card, and the Rider-Waite-Smith has just a couple yellow irises there. And I have actually looked, and I have not specifically found a meaning for the yellow irises in any book that I do have. So I would be interested if anybody does have any ideas about that yellow iris. And in here, they're blue. So blue and yellow are definitely the most popular colors that I've seen for irises. Yellow is that really friendly, happy, bright color, and blue is peace and calming. So I'm interested in that. All right. So this one is Tarot of the Mystical Cats. Grace. So here we have a beautiful Siamese cat walking on, looks like a break wall in the water. One side, the waves are crashing up. The other, we have a rainbow in that foam. And I just love the cat's, the poise and the grace that the cat seems to have while walking almost through water. So we have, again, that idea of being part of receptive emotions and being grounded. And that's Tarot of the Mystical Cats. And again, this one is also number 14, but this one's called Grace. So again, grace, balance, some of those different names for temperance. All right, Ashley just joined in. Hello. And this is the Affirminators deck, which is just so cute. I love it. And this one's Temperance. I love it. So we have a seal, a really happy looking seal. So the seal is a water creature generally, but it's on land as well. So we kind of cross that. We kind of have that idea of that in water, on land idea as well. And in between like the fins, we have those like the water waves, again, indicating that the movement of water. We have the lines, the radiant lines by the head as well. And so that is the Affirminators. And I just think that deck is adorable. All right, Vanessa, yes, it is. Ashley, hello. All right, so if there are readers out there that have had Temperance pop up, tell me a little bit about how do you read that? How do you read Temperance? What comes to mind when you see it pop up? I try not to, go for the basic, okay, it's just balance. But sometimes it really is, And now I can't find my writer. Wait, there we go. There we go. So again, if there are any Sagittarius on there, how do you feel about the card and being one of your representative cards? I think for the other fire signs, they're a little bit more straightforward. We have the Emperor and Aries, and we have Leo and Strength. And all right, we'll go ahead into the tarot tip. So the tarot tip for this week is tarot timing. How do you handle a question about timing? There's a few different ways to do it. One of the ways that, one of the kind of starter ways, exactly, depends on what the subject of the reading is. It's one of those that really takes a different meaning based on what's around it. Vanessa says, when it pops up, I usually tell them about balancing their life, personal time and spiritual time. That's because we have that idea of the spiritual nature of the card and the physical. So work-life balance, came into mind. If it is a reading with someone, ask how they're balancing, their personal time, their work time, their spiritual time. So tarot tip, timing. If someone is questioning, when is something going to happen? It's a tricky question because sometimes, my first thing is like, what are you doing to get the thing? If someone's like, when am I going to get a new job? My first question is, what are you doing to get the job? Are you putting out applications? Have you been getting interviews? How are you approaching them? What's your attitude about them? Are you applying for jobs you actually want? And usually we kind of drill that down. I drill that down first. And depending on what they say about that, then we kind of go a little bit more. If they're like, I've definitely put in applications, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, then I'll try to nail it down a little bit. First tip is going to be using the major cards that represent signs of the zodiac. So if someone's like, when am I going to get a new job? And Temperance pops up in that spot for that question, you might want to say, okay, later in the wintertime, end of November, beginning of December, in that time frame. You can look at, if they're talking about time, and the Lovers pops up, beginning of summer, into May into June. So you go off of that. If the Star pops up, well, it's going to be a while because the Star is Aquarius, and Aquarius is past, and we're not going to be there for a little bit. Death comes up, and we're looking at tarot timing with this series. I can't think of the word. And we're using this. It's going to be, Scorpio. So we're going to look into the fall. We're going to look into October into November. So that is probably the first and easiest way to kind of bring up the tarot timing. And you can always go off that too. You can always build on that and clarify that. All right. And of course, I don't have written down what the tarot forecast for last week was, because why would I do that? Why would I actually keep track of that? But I actually have not pulled my tarot forecast for the week either. So I am going to pull these as the tarot collective. Yes, Temperance is taking time to recover, because we're just right after that Death card and right before the Devil. So Temperance is sandwiched in there. Temperance is sandwiched in between Death and the Devil. And so we're going to be looking at the Devil next week. All right, so for the cards for this week, first one is a Hierophant. So really look into what lessons have you learned, what can you be learning, what can you be teaching. Also, how is tradition? What does tradition mean for you right now? How is tradition affecting your life? 5 of Wands. Look for people really competing, fighting, kind of being at each other's throats, really just being uncomfortable energetically with people around. I mean, we can't really, ignore what's going on in the news, and I'm not going to get too much into that. But, when people are, kind of arguing back and forth about, should we pay attention to this? Should we not? Is this a big deal? Is it not? Maybe we look at temperance. We look at it in the middle. And finally, we have the Lovers. So the Lovers, again, is that duality, that coupling, and maybe taking a look at yourself and really looking at your reflection and really thinking, am I in alignment? So that's kind of what's coming through. Make sure you're in alignment with your true goals. Okay, let me just write these down, actually. All right, we do have a little bit of extra time, so I'll definitely be able to get everyone in. Moving week here. Oof. I am in the process of moving. My apartment, which is going to be awesome, is still very much under construction. All of the floors are getting redone, which is fantastic, but also means no big things can be moved in until like 2 weeks, and they're going to get done. They're going to be done this weekend. So that brings us right to the end of the month. I can bring boxes, once the floors are done, I can bring like smaller stuff in. But I might have to sleep here for a night. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna have to sleep in my office. But yeah, moving, I'm looking into movers and hoping I can maybe do that instead for the big stuff. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the readings. I am really looking forward to having a very specific altar space where I can go in and, this sounds like, light candles. I have a very small area in my bedroom, and I have other spots throughout the house, but I don't really have anyone anywhere that I just kind of am able to sit down and really do it, and I'm very excited. Oh, Ashley, that is awesome. I would love to see a picture at some point. If you want to go ahead and send it over to me, I would love to see it. One of the things that I've been reflecting on this new moon is my offerings. I am going to start offering custom spell work. I've kind of hinted at it here and there. If you follow me on Instagram or if you follow my page, Divination Station Tarot, kind of hinted at it. Some of the things that I'm going to be doing. So one of those things is going to be custom spell work. So in my office space, I have herbs, like right here, I have jasmine, I have just rosebuds, I have all sorts of stuff all over. And I just ordered some new stones, so I can kind of use those in like custom altar setups, custom spell work. Yes, with the movers, yes, I am. I have a couple more calls to make tomorrow, and I've been looking at the Yelp reviews because, even though they're not going to be moving a lot of stuff, it's definitely stuff that I got to be careful of. But definitely good advice. So I'm going to be adding custom spells to my offerings. They can be in addition to tarot readings, or if someone just, really wants some custom spell work, I'm going to be offering that as well. So I'm going to be doing tarot and custom spell. So I'm going to be tweaking my website and tweaking my page a little bit because that's really what feels right to do. Also doing an intro to candle magic class at Rising Goddess, March 25th. So if you are in Buffalo, New York, or in the area, definitely check out my page, check out Rising Goddess. I'm going to start to do Witchy Wednesdays there. So I do take appointments for tarot, Lenormand, Oracle, anything like that. And I also want it to be a time and a space for any local witches, baby witches, experienced witches, want to check out witches, to kind of come in and hang out and just kind of have a chat. Because I, really thinking about what part of this do I love the most? I love teaching. I love, kind of really getting what people enjoy, what people like. I like getting into that. So I'm going to be expanding my offerings to include more of that. All right, so I'll go ahead and get on to the readings. Also, if you are not part of the Three of Cups Divine Arts group, definitely go to the page, find the group link, and join the group. Some great stuff shared there. Really, a little bit more in-depth information about specific topics. I'm sure with Ostara coming up, there's going to be some great posts on Ostara. So yeah, pop over there. I also have a group, Divination Station, attached to my page as well. Mostly, it's predominantly local to Buffalo, but there's also national and international members as well. So I'd love to have you in both of the groups and, kind of sharing what you know, asking questions. Let's learn from each other. All right, so first card for Maria Pia. So since it is the full moon, I'm going to pull cards that are kind of, I'm going to say what you should like, how to reflect, what to reflect back on this full moon, and maybe an energy to kind of think about tonight as the full moon is there. Maybe take a look out. I haven't actually looked outside to see if it's cloudy or if I can see the moon, but it was pretty big last night. Okay, so Maria Pia. Reflect on moving forward in that balanced way. So the Chariot is, again, balance, but in that way, moving forward. You're moving forward, you're looking at options, and you're moving forward with everyone in line with that. It does represent the zodiac sign of Cancer. So it is a very intuitive card. So you will be following your intuition, even though it looks like you might be doing it in a very logical way. No one's really going to know you're following your intuition, but you are. So again, that one is for Maria Pia, the Chariot. You are welcome. Yep, Krista, I got you on the list. So right now, as far as the list for shared, I have Polly, Kiara, Caitlin, Ashley, Krista, and Sunshine. If I missed you, go ahead and give me your name and let me know that you shared, and we'll get you too. All right, Polly. The Sun. So I know you said you were having some struggles, but the Sun is all about, literally optimism. Your time will shine. Your time to shine is coming up. And really reflect on what is so difficult, what's making things difficult, and maybe do that reflection on the difficulties. Where are the blockages? What can you do to affect that? And really have faith and optimism that your time to shine is coming. So that is for Polly. We got the Sun. I'm not going to sing Here Comes the Sun, but I kind of want to. You're welcome. All right, Kiara is up next. So for Kiara, what to reflect on. Eight of Pentacles. So Eight of Pentacles is work. It is hard work. It is moving forward, each step, it is also about perfection. So maybe take a look at where perfectionism falls in your life right now. Are you holding yourself back from something because you're not sure if you can like nail it right away? Really look into, that idea of perfectionism. Perfectionism is definitely, especially with a Virgo full moon, boom, definitely look at, reflect on perfectionism. It can be very difficult to overcome. A lot of times, when we procrastinate, it's actually how perfectionism manifests. If I don't finish it, or if I don't work towards it or put enough time in, I have an excuse. So really take a look at where that place is in your life right now. I'm not saying don't work hard, but why are you working hard? Is it just for, that to say that you are, or is it in alignment? All right, Caitlin. 8 of Swords. So 8 of Swords, really reflect on what's holding you back in your own mind. Where are you feeling trapped? And where can you listen to your intuition more? What is your intuition telling you? Where are you ignoring it? And how can you follow it? Because all of the danger here is perceived. It's not real like we think it is, because it's our perception. But it's really, all we have to do is kind of follow the water. Remember, all of the water is intuition and feeling. If we can go ahead and follow that, we're going to be home free. So really kind of take a look at what's holding you back and how much of it is perceived, danger, perceived threats. And that was for Caitlin. And I do write down the cards that I get for everyone, just so I can remember. All right, Ashley. The Hermit. And you just talked about the space that you set up. I think, reflecting on that space and that time that you're going to be able to spend, really reflecting on your practice, your move, really enjoying your new space, and, kind of taking a break after everything's all said and done, and really just regrouping. And I know our family situations and work situations and all of that can really make it difficult to find those hermit moments, where we can really just kind of tune into ourselves. But I think having a specific place that you can go to is really going to make this a little bit more tenable for you. You're going to really be able to pull that in a little bit more. And Hermit is also the card of Virgo, and we are in Virgo full moon, so that makes a lot of sense too. All right, next up is Krista. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles, pages represent Earth, Pentacles represent Earth. So it's a very, there's a lot of Earth energy in the card, again, Virgo, but it's a little bit more playful. He's like going, okay, so what really came through very strong right now for you, Krista, is getting out there and finding something in nature. It's finding something in nature and being very excited about it. Like when I was a kid, I used to go for like walks in the woods, and I would find fossils and I'd bring them home, and I'd like present them like that. So the energy right now that I'm getting for you very strongly is getting out in nature and playing, really looking around, absorbing that earth energy, um, and really finding something that you are that like that you're really excited about. So that was for Krista. Page of Pentacles. So kind of rediscover that earth element. All right, and last up here, we do have sunshine. And if you do, I would love, as exchange for this as well, if you did go to my page, you can leave me a review or recommendation. I would definitely appreciate that. It helps my page get views. It helps the Facebook algorithms and all that. You can follow me on Instagram, divination_station. It should just pop right up. Oh, and I started TikTok too. I'm brand new to it, but I'm really trying the witch talk. So if you are on TikTok, I would 100% love it if you found me. Divination Station there too. So I'm just figuring it out. And boy, a social media platform has never made me feel older. I'm just going to put that out there. Find me on TikTok. I'm just figuring it out. So good gods, bear with me. I don't have any, fancy effect lip syncing videos up there yet, but it's fun. It is fun. And I wish I did have a little bit more time to devote to that. So yeah. Right? And Ashley, there are songs on there. When I look at sounds, I'm like, I do not know what these are. I have no idea what this music is. I feel ancient. Now, granted, I was never much of a pop music person anyway. I'm like 100%, like punk rock, metal, hardcore kid forever. So when I'm looking at these, I'm like, I didn't know pop when, I knew Britney Spears, and like pop stars of that caliber. But right now I'm like, I don't know. Is everybody like a SoundCloud rapper now? How am I supposed to know about this? So yeah. I really hope I'm definitely showing my age. When it gets close to my birthday, I'm gonna let y'all know. And of course I am. I'm an Aries. Y'all know that. And I'll do an age reveal if you don't know how old I am. Oh my God, I know. Some of the lip syncs are so good, and I'm like, goals. All right, sunshine. Oh, Two of Cups. So Two of Cups is that the card of partnership, of really loving relationships, and really finding that person that is your other half, but not in a way that denies your whole personness. And I hope that makes sense. But really being able to find that person that is your complement. And that is for sunshine. So speaking of Two of Cups, on Three of Cups Divine Arts, this Friday the 13th, on Three of Cups Divine Arts at 7 o'clock, 7 to 9 p.m., Bridget of Mythic Journeys and I are going to be doing a 2-hour chat, talk show style, on twin flames. So we have a couple posts on the page and in the group about that. Yes. So I'm actually going to share the event down here in the comments, so y'all have it here. It's going to be a really great, I think it's going to be a really interesting, a really in-depth talk. We're giving ourselves plenty of space, plenty of time to really deep dive twin flames. If you don't know what twin flames are, that's fine. We're going to tell you. I'm just finding. So we're going to be doing that talk on twin flames, and I think it's going to be I think it's going to be really awesome. If you have any questions, there we go. If you have any questions that you want asked about twin flames, any comments, anything like that, any opinions, any thoughts, anything, please go to the event link and post it there. We really want to know what you want to know about twin flames. We've been researching and bouncing things off each other for the past week or so, but we really want the experience to benefit all involved. So I did pop that link down there. Go to the event, see what it's about. If you have any questions about twin flames, like I said, feel free. If you don't want to put it in the public forum, you could message myself, Elizabeth Whitaker on Facebook, or Bridget Holbert, or you can message either of our pages, Hedge Rider or Divination Station. We really want to make this applicable to you as well. We've had a couple questions that we've done some specific research to answer. So we'd really love you to, if you could join us on Friday the 13th for that talk on twin flames. And I think we're just about done here. So again, temperance, balance, all that jazz. I have been doing lives on Resourceful Raven too. If you have not, it was Shay Almond. It is her group. If you have not found them, find Resourceful Raven. I jump on about 8 o'clock on Wednesdays and do about half hour, 45 minutes of readings. So you can always jump in there for additional readings. Sometimes I'll use tarot, sometimes I'll use an oracle deck. So I really kind of flex my muscles, my divination muscles in there. I think we're good. All right. Well, happy full moon. If you're in the Three of Cups Divine Arts group, tomorrow, we'd love to hear what you did for the full moon. I know I'll be making a post about what I did for the full moon tonight, which might just be forget to do anything when I get home and lay down and just hang out with my cats and listen to podcasts for the full moon. Okay, good night.